Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Ticket Stubs and Popcorn. I am Frank.
And I'm Peter.
And he's Peter. So today we are going to be talking about Renée Zellweger. So she's pretty good, kind of fun. Yeah. She's done some pretty fun stuff. So
Certainly has.
yeah, so that's what we're going to do.
Alrighty. So I've got a question for you.
Of course you do.
I know this might seem to be like it's a general question.
Yeah.
Obviously, but, how do you feel about remakes?
Okay. Just like in general.
Yeah, in
All
general.
right,
How
cool.
do you feel about remakes?
Okay, all right. That's a good topic. Feel free to throw your comments down in the comments. So Renée Zellweger, go.
Down in the comments.
Yeah.
Put those comments in the comments.
Yeah. So
Alrighty.
things go where they belong. Things go where they go.
That's right. Renée Zellweger.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to say my first pick for her is Cold Mountain.
Okay.
She plays a young woman who is
Cold.
lives on a mountain.
Yeah.
She
Great.
she's been
Movie's 30 seconds long. She's like, cold as a mountain. Oscar. Give it to her right there.
great work.
Show, don't tell. Sorry, I'm sorry. Just couldn't resist.
Poor Renée. She plays the part of young woman Ruby Thews, and she is got some great experience in this outdoor lifetime, kind of a hard scrabble existence. She was raised to be able to live off the land by her parents, her father in particular. It's just how she was raised. She had, things you have to do.
Yeah.
Have to survive, have to do that sort of stuff. And it's juxtaposed against the Nicole Kidman character, who was not. She was like the Southern Belle kind of thing, and had, takes place in 1800s. So she had all these other things to her disposal, and can't lift a finger, can't figure out stuff. But the Renée Zellweger character,
And Nicole Kidman gets
Ruby.
divorced and she has to move in with you. Then you've got the Odd Couple set in the 19th century.
Yes,
Appalachia. So, I'm sorry.
so it's.
I don't know why I can't stop.
I don't know why.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Too much coffee this morning. Look,
Not
the
enough.
cup is empty.
It is actually. I've had two.
So she is very practical and just a joy, because she's always, I shouldn't say always, but she's often saving the group, and kind of protecting them, and so that's a wonderful performance. It's raw, and it's excellent.
Yeah.
We get to see a side of her that at that point was a little different and wonderful. So that's Cold Mountain.
All right.
So, and then I was going to say a second pick. It's a movie where she is the lead female actor, but she's not. Her role is not as big, and that's Cinderella Man, where she's opposite Russell Crowe.
Ah, yeah.
So she's married. Her character is married to Russell Crowe. He's James J. Braddock, heavyweight. Well, a little past his prime sort of thing. He is a heavyweight boxer. Yeah, and she's May Braddock, and same thing there. This is the Depression now, and they're barely. I'm not even sure if they are scraping by. He's trying to work at the docks, and he's trying to get the job, but you have to show up every day, be the first one in the line, and so she's trying to hold the family together. Really, it's like a full-time job with her, not just trying to pick up odd jobs herself, but to feed her children. I mean, it's getting scary. And It's wonderful. So she's a little she's strong-willed in this one, but she's still very supportive. So when he does have the opportunity, when her husband has the opportunity to get back into fighting, she'd rather not have him do that, but it's definitely an ends to a means of getting more money and putting food on the table. So I love that performance of her. The Cinderella Man is the name of that one. And a third one is a tremendous performance in what I'm going to say is not that great of a movie. But her performance in Judy Garland is incredible. And this is we've talked about this before for other actors who portray singers or musicians, and then they actually either brush up on their abilities or they actually just have.
Well, she can sing,
and she's incredible.
Yeah,
because she gets the mannerisms down, so it's not just sounding like Judy Garland and obviously looking like Judy, but she's got these mannerisms, and it's amazing. And it takes place like the last year or year and a half or so of Judy's life. So she's between drugs and alcohol. She's kind of at the end there, and she's doing the same. She's trying to hold. She wants to give her kids the best they can, and sometimes that is not a stable thing. Yeah. She's on tour in London, so she's overseas now. And she's trying to take she's trying to hold that stuff together, hold the musical performing career together, and she's got her own other issues, physical and emotional stuff. So that one, like I said, I wasn't a big fan of the movie so much, but her performance is great. It's very good. Yeah, no, I totally it's very believable too. Yeah. Like you don't want. I never thought for a moment that wasn't Judy Garland on the screen. You're like, that's not Renée Zellweger. I know she's top billing, but that can't be her. That's Judy Garland. So that was more than convincing. Great performance. So that's those are my 3 Renée Zellweger.
All right, cool. I guess 3 totally different ones.
Very good. I like those sometimes. We have 6 movies.
I'm going to go with Me, Myself, and Irene,
mm-hmm.
which is it's great because it's a weird movie because it's Jim Carrey was doing these movies where they're kind of funny and then they get kind of dark.
Yeah.
Like Cable Guy was like that. It's just like, oh, this is funny. It's just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But and Me, Myself, and Irene. Yeah, Truman Story the same way.
It's fun.
And then it's weird. But Me, Myself, and Irene has got a similar vibe to it, I think. And she's just great. Just being Jim Carrey is such a huge presence in any movie he's in, and to be able to stand out and have your performance, either match and at times like exceed his presence on the screen, I think that's notable. And she's just so great in that. She's not just like the straight man to his crazy.
Yeah.
She really does hold her own, and it's fun. It's funny. It's a little weird, but I love her in that. And she can do comedy. She's pretty funny. And which brings me into my second one for her, which is Bridget Jones' Diary.
Sure. Because
she's such a sad sack in that. And we've spoken before about how actors will like transform themselves like physically. Yeah. I think she added pounds for that to kind of have that sad sack kind of thing where she's just, and again, it's another.
And then she's struggling with it in the movie,
right? Exactly.
Anyway, so it adds
it adds to it. So, but she's very sympathetic. You don't feel so bad for her that you can't root for her because you're still rooting for her. And you want her to be happy. You want her to succeed. And because sometimes you'll get characters like that where you're just like, well, you know what?
I give up.
Yeah, you're just all your problems, your faults, whoever it is, you know. And I'm not just talking women in film; I'm talking men as well.
Oh yeah,
so it's fun when you're able to enjoy rooting for another character, and she's so likable in this, and you don't even mind a sequel because it's just like, which of course is just a money grab, but she's great. I love her Bridget. But my absolute hands down favorite Renée Zellweger role is in Chicago.
Okay.
Oh my God. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I'm not a big musicals guy. I am not. When I saw this movie, I was working in a movie theater and I saw it, and I loved it so much that I went back. It was the last show of the night, and I went back up to the booth.
You used to work in a movie theater?
Yeah, I did. And I went back up to the booth, rethreaded it, and watched it again. And I love that movie because typically a movie, like a musical, it's just like, hey, the movie's going on, and you know what? We're going to stop right now, and we're going to do some singing. It's just like, great, thanks for interrupting the narrative.
Yeah.
It's completely like ruining my rhythm.
Exposition right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, I feel like breaking out in song.
Okay. But in Chicago, it's sort of, it helps the narrative because it's all Roxy says she's crazy, and it's just how like the characters are perceiving like what's going on and how she's sort of seeing it all. And I thought that was fantastic. I loved it. And she's just so, her singing is incredible. And she kills it. And sometimes in a movie like that, you're just like, oh, I can't wait for the Richard Gere scenes because he's a lot of fun. But she's my favorite in that movie, and I love her in that. She's
a good supporting.
And she's just like, she manages to maintain that razor's edge of conniving and manipulative and a little bit crazy, and the singing, the singing is fantastic. It just blows me away every time. Again, that's a soundtrack that I'll just sit and listen to. It's so good. So. Yeah, so that's my
open up a pint of ice cream and cry while you're
listening. Exactly. Yeah.
Boy, you need help.
God, you have no idea. Seriously. So all right, great. Those are 6 great Renée Zellweger movies.
Oh, definitely.
All right, what were we talking about?
I asked the question in general. How do you feel about remakes?
Remakes. All right, so. Sometimes a remake goes really well. Ocean's 11. Because the original one with Sinatra was not great, but, the Ocean's 11, 12, 13, those were all super fun. Yeah. Really, really fun. Usually remakes, for me, they don't often work. Yeah. And there's also no reason.
There's no reason.
Like a movie like Red Dawn, terrible. RoboCop, terrible. The Ghostbusters remake, I thought wasn't great. And what's terrible about that is that it when you say you don't like it, it's just, you automatically that there's this thing. Well, because it's all women. I just thought it wasn't great, regardless.
No, I agree.
I love everybody in it, but it just wasn't a good movie.
Right. If you had three younger men in the movie,
it wasn't a good. The script was terrible. It was not a good story. And there's a sequel that's coming out soon.
Soon, I think.
Pretty soon.
I think so.
I'm looking forward to that. But generally, I can't think of a remake that I've been, great, let's do it. I can't.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been excited to see a remake.
No.
Later on, you may hear word of mouth like Ocean's 11. Oh, this is a great movie. Gotta go see it. Oh, okay. Who's in that one again?
I didn't really like the original. You never really heard about it.
Yeah.
It was like I'll be honest. I didn't know about it until that comes out. It's just like, it's a remake of this. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, oh, okay. And I watched the original. I'm like, you know what? The remake is better.
Yeah,
You know?
I think the original, they had a reason why they wanted to make it. They had fun making it, but the movie, the final product, it's okay. No,
Yeah.
it's okay.
I mean, I thought Murder on the Orient Express, the remake, was fine. But what kills that is like if you're familiar with the original, like the mystery's gone.
Well, exactly.
Right?
If you already know the ending,
yeah, exactly.
You still know the ending.
So
you can't get that out of your mind.
I can't think of a remake where I've been just like, yeah, let's do that. And I think that,
I don't get excited by remakes. I know why, studios and
because it's
want to do it.
Well, because it's money. It's got a built-in audience. It's got name recognition.
And
you don't have to introduce. You don't.
Right.
There's a lot less work that you need to do to create a new thing.
I get the idea of sequels
There's
and
less
like
risk.
rebooting and things. I mean, I understand why they feel they have to do it, but so many times on the remake, I'll just sit there and go, boy, I'll watch the other one again.
Yeah, exactly. And so many times, like when they've
even
rebooted,
in the same ballpark, sometimes you're like, this is not very good.
Like when they've rebooted the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
You had Tobey Maguire, and then you had Andrew Garfield, and the thing that got me is like, that's whatever. That's fine. I just always feel bad because it's just like, oh, we gotta watch Ben get killed again.
I know it because you have to tell the whole backstory.
And even with like Superman movies and Batman movies, it's just like, how many times do we have to see?
Yeah, here comes Thomas Wayne. Oh, I bet he's going to get shot right now.
Exactly. It's just like, how many times do I have to see a string of pearls slow motion fall to the rainy ground? It's just like we all know it, and it's not something that, unless you're going to somehow come at that in a completely different way, we already, like the audience already knows. This characters, Batman's what, 80 years old now?
Oh, probably.
So it's just that some of that's not necessary.
Yeah.
So and what's interesting with some of the Spider-Man stuff and what the MCU is doing now is sort of adding the multiverse and you know, so, and then there are rumors that they're going to bring in like the Andrew Garfield and the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and it's all, you hear rumors that that's going to happen, and that could be kind of fun, kind of interesting, because the Spider-Verse exists and all that.
We talked about Mahershala Ali, and one of my picks was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah. And I think I said it. I mean, I'll say it now. That's probably my favorite Spider-Man movie.
It's fantastic.
And part of the charm is that there exists in this multiverse called the Spider-Verse that there are many different forms and shapes of spider beings.
Yeah, and what Marvel did,
and it's great. So I could see them having a couple of different versions, including a couple of different actors who played him.
Well, what Marvel did,
I can see how that could work.
Yeah, well, what Marvel did is brilliant with introducing the multiverse within like Loki and some of the Doctor Strange stuff and Ant-Man, and so that they're bringing that in and opening themselves up to the possibilities of we can do anything. And then that What If show was just so great. It just gives so many possibilities. So many things can happen. You could bring back Black Widow. You could bring back and have a story where she's on another timeline. There's so much that you can do with it.
When the fan base is there, and you don't ever have to worry about your fans or the geeks out there watching and going, well, you can't do that. That person's already dead. And you go, no, this is the multiverse. We can do it. There's alternate realities. We can bring things in, and so it gives so many opportunities.
Yeah, and for a while there was talk of remaking Star Wars, the original, A New Hope, and it would be a huge mistake.
Why? Yeah,
exactly. They've got so many opportunities. What they're doing now, they have so many shows in the pipeline. They've opened up that universe immeasurably. There's so much stuff that they can do. You've got Book of Boba Fett coming out. You've got another season of Mandalorian coming out.
And
The Ahsoka show. You've got Rogue Squadron movie on its way. There's so much going on that they don't need to do it. Which is great. But I think getting back to the original question, I remakes. I don't think that they were. If you feel that you made a movie and it's just like, oh man, we could go back and we could fix this, or we could do this, or this person could play this better, or oh, we've got an actor. It's just, you know what?
Right.
You could do. I mean, there's so many like super spy movies. You've got Jason Bourne. You've got, you want to take one of those storylines that you would quote reboot a Jason Bourne movie with. You know what? Take elements of that storyline and go to Ben Affleck's The Accountant, which would be great for a new franchise. That would be fantastic. Open it up. We don't need to remake stuff.
And there are times too when there's movies that, for different reasons, people have certain attachment to. And oh, this movie means so much to me, and I got this connection with this movie. And you may hear somebody just kind of throwing stuff out there. Oh, there could be let's do a Harold and Maude remake. Well, what? Why would you do that? Or let's do this kind of a remake. And you're like, well, why are you thinking this way?
Yeah.
This makes no sense.
Right. It's just, and then you get the other, like, the extreme, this ruined my childhood. No, it didn't.
Right. You still got that one to keep watching.
Look, I got news for you. If a remade Ghostbusters movie ruined your childhood, I got news
what
for
kind
you.
of a childhood did you
need
have?
to make some phone calls and get some help, because your childhood was already on shaky ground, son. So don't blame the reboot.
But,
and stop making reboots.
Yeah, remakes.
So, anyway, but that's how I feel about remakes.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. And
I mean, again, I get the commercial thing. There's a safety net. There's less risk. There's a built-in audience. If for no other reason, people are going to go, well, I'll go see it to see what they do. I've done that.
Yeah.
I watched Tenet, and I hated that movie, and I was just like, I'm going to watch it again because I want to make sure I hate it for the reasons I hated it.
Exactly. Yep, still hate it.
Yep, still hate it. Anywho, which reminds me, it's almost time for my annual Let's Try to Watch Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy again.
Is it that time already?
It's almost that time again. I got to try it again. So, anyway, hey, who are we talking about next? Let's get the old bucket out here. So we're running out of actors in this bucket.
Yeah, actually we are, aren't we? We're gonna have to replenish that.
So, all right. Okay, cool.
We got. All righty. Yes. It's funny, over the span of time that we've been doing this, you're like, well, who's still left? Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah. Good. All right. Cool. Yeah. All right, kids. Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to the podcast and all that great stuff. Keep those cards and letters coming, and have a great day.